Hey everybody, I'm here in PowerPoint. So I've just done this before and it didn't really work out so well. But I'll put some music on here. Yeah, okay. We're going to learn about the Earth. Yeah, we're going to learn about the inside of the Earth. Okay, alright. So what we're going to learn about is how do we know about the inside of the Earth? So, first of all, it's the Earth. We're talking about what we've talked before, which is the lithosphere, okay? The lithosphere, okay? This is the Earth's. And then we're talking about like rocks, which are actually part of the Earth. Okay, and we've talked about this when we talked about the spheres of our Earth. Well, the main question is how do we know what's going on inside the Earth? Okay, what is inside the Earth? And that's a really good question because we can't really get exactly to the middle. It's sort of tricky, right? So how do we know what's going on with the Earth? Well, there are two ways that we collect evidence or proof of what's going on inside. The first one we do, and I'll change my pen here, is that we collect rock samples. Okay, we collect rock samples from everywhere. Okay, from the surface, from digging really big holes into the earth. We collect different types of rocks. We can learn about what's going on in the earth really deep down, okay, like where they're formed. For example, metamorphic rock. We learn a lot about metamorphic rock because we dig it up sometimes from really deep down. And we get a lot of clues from rock samples. Another way that we find out what's going on inside the earth, and this rock samples way, sorry, rock samples are actually a direct way we find things out, okay? It's direct. Like we look at a rock and we do some testing, but that's not the only way we get evidence from the Earth. Another way we get it is via seismic waves, okay? And seismic waves we cannot see. A good example of a seismic wave is an earthquake, okay? Seismic waves are sort of hard to understand, but the way you think about it is that like how fast the Earth's parts are moving. We can figure that out. And then we experience those like, via earthquakes and stuff, but we can kind of indirectly is the word know stuff about the inside of the Earth that way, okay? This is an indirect evidence of what's going on inside. Okay. As you can see, I'm trying to write slightly neater here. Let's just do this. Okay. Excellent. Next, the Earth is made out of three main layers. Okay. Three main layers of the Earth. Okay. So we'll just put, or the lithosphere, also. Um, what is the Earth made out of? Okay. Uh huh. What is it made out of? Well, I'm going to tell you right now in case you were curious. I'm also going to change this pen color real quick. Bam. Okay, so the Earth is made of three main parts. The outside, which is like the bready part, the crust. Get it? Anyways, and then the next part, which is kind of like on your, uh, oops, there's an N, mantle. And the mantle is not what's over your fireplace, but it's actually what's under the crust. And we're going to learn all about these later. And the last part, which is kind of like the non-digestible part of most fruits, which would be the pit or the core. Okay? All three of these parts of the earth vary in four main ways. Okay? For like the crust has certain properties that are different than the mantle, and the way that we categorize this is in these four ways. Okay? So the size, we know the size of the crust is way different than the size of the mantle. We also know what's going on is what the rocks are made out of each of these layers, the composition. Okay? Also, we know how much pressure is applied to each of these. If you think about it, that's really interesting, right? Because a core gets a lot of pressure because it's way in the middle. And finally, the temperature. Well, you've heard rumors, maybe, that it's hot in the Earth's core. A lot of people use the Earth's core as thinking about like what hell would be like. Which I think that's the Earth's core is probably pretty pleasant if there was a hell, which is not really. But the Earth's core, it would be quite uh, bad. Yeah, I guess. Okay, real quick. How do we know? Yeah, and there we go. Thank you for listening, and I will play some music.